organizing this incredible event with so much talent, but we corresponded, thank goodness for technology, because that's how I met the artists, and that's how Bud was able to graciously take my poems from an email attachment and display them, because I wasn't able to get here in person until now to have them up there, so thank you. The poem that I submitted, which Helen Troya illustrated, she's out there somewhere. There she is this amazing large format picture underwater with the mermaids. And so I thank her for this interpretation. It's called At Weeki Wachee Springs. At Weeki Wachee Springs, the mermaids wear their long hair loose, not like when they train in high chlorine Olympic-sized pools, their thick manes tucked into slick bathing caps to cut down on brittle split ends and too much drag as they dart their lithe skins through the water, their coaches coaxing them to move fluidly, breathe evenly while they crawl. But under the warm salt springs, they can swim free, less lung than gill, and only needing to sip from those serpentine air hoses once in a while. Between pinwheel tumbles, and as they curl their fins in and out of undersea caves, their arms their only limbs propelling them, their scaly bodices holding them in, letting them tuck and twist, flip and twirl through the murky salt water that bathes their swirling strands, waving, chasing behind them. Oh, happy International Women's Day, by the way. The other artist I was fortunate to work with is Carol Moore, and she couldn't be here today because she's working down the street at her gallery slash yarn store. She's a fiber artist, and I was able to meet her, and she's wonderful, and her piece is right around on this pillar, but facing that wall. It's a three-dimensional sculpture, and she emailed me a picture of it, and so I was working from that, and when you get up close to it, there's a picture of a woman that's attached to this tree, and I saw Joni Mitchell in the picture. Somehow the image reminded me of her, and so it all sort of started from there, my poem, my interpretation, and so I'm actually going to start with a tribute to Joni and then lead into the poem. They say little children are supposed to sleep tight. That's why I got into the vodka one night. My parents got frantic, didn't know what to do. But I saw some crazy scenes before they came to. Now, do you think I was crazy? I may have been only 3, but I was swinging. They all laughed at angry young men. They all laughed at Edison and also at Einstein. So why should I feel sorry if they just didn't understand the idiomatic logic that went on in my head? I had a brain that was insane. Oh, they used to laugh at me when I refused to ride in all those double-decker buses, all because there was no driver on the top. What, no driver on the top? This chick is twisted, was what people called her, since she refused to ride on those double-decker buses with no driver on the top. No, she wouldn't be a passenger in a vehicle that didn't make sense. Instead, she became a firefighter, where she could take control, sit up high in her tall truck, and sound the siren that made everyone else get the hell out of her way so she could speed to the scene of the blaze. When she was off duty, she hung out in her treehouse, wary of forest fires, but prepared, her red engine parked not far from the trunk. To relax, she crocheted decorations that doubled as her home's insulation, where she crafted without hooks or needles, preferring to immerse her bare, hardened, hard-worked hands in the soft wool. High up in her tree, she felt free, almost safe, wrapped among twirls of thick yarn and twisted branches. Thank you.